Hi. Almost 6.5 years, if my math is correct. And I do not know what I'm doing. I bought this really nice microphone and lights and all sorts of stuff to film a video about 3 years ago at this point. Kind of never got around to it. I think I enjoyed the idea of producing the video more than actually doing it. But I wanted to give primarily an update about what is the channel anymore. So first of all, let me just say that I didn't leave the channel because I didn't enjoy doing it necessarily. It wasn't for money reasons. It was essentially a mental motivation issue at the time. A lot of things converged all at once, which made my creativity and interest collapsed, is the best way, I think, to describe it. Wow, I should have had this in front of me so it hides my massive double chin. So ultimately, the purpose of this video is to break the seal, to break the ice, whatever you want to say. I have been wanting to make videos for years now. Ask anyone who works with me. I've been talking about this forever. I've had these ideas, these scripts, these concepts that I've really wanted to put into a timeline to talk about. And I felt like I couldn't do that until I had an explanation of where I am and if I'm dead or not. And now that's done. The type of content I will not be doing: Let's Plays, for a couple reasons. Number one, they never really did all that well. You might as well just watch me stream. I stream a couple times a month on twitch.tv/Sircrest. I've still been doing that basically ever since I stopped doing YouTube. And a couple people from the YouTube channel stopped by, which is nice, and we talk about all sorts of things. They can be fun, and people did enjoy them, but in the end, it's not me anymore, which is also why I removed pretty much every Let's Play on the channel. There may be a couple that I left up that I knew were fine. I removed a lot of them because I'm 32 now. My humor has also changed and gotten drier, I guess is a nice way to put it. And so I didn't want those videos up anymore. Most of them I privated. I also deleted plenty. That's how it goes. Reviews, in parentheses, no one gives a shit. Which I don't think is necessarily false. I wrote this when I was in a bad mood years ago. Surprisingly, I've done way more reviews than I initially thought I did. And some of them were very well produced. I still think so. Like my Fallout 4 video is really good. Ether 1 was a video that I was really proud of, which took a very long time to put together. Those really aren't going to happen anymore. Analysis videos, maybe. Kind of like what I did with Fallout 4. It's sort of a review, but it's also a matter of trying to break down a particular point about the game. In that case, it was mostly about the questing and the writing. That is probably going to be the extent of that type of content. I'm not going to do reviews of video games because the way I review video games takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I do not have the motivation to do that, nor do I have the time where I can just sort of throw hours at a project. Next up, impressions, previews. Doubly so, no one gives a shit. Those videos were not very good. Like many of that era, ultimately I was trying to copy Total Biscuit, who I really looked up to. I thought, I can do that. I can't do that. Still can't do that. Maybe when it comes to technology, because I have much more experience in that. But when it comes to video games, I kind of know the games that I like. And doing these impressions videos was kind of a nightmare in terms of trying to make a video that is at least insightful, if not entertaining. And very often I did neither. So all those videos are also removed. Mod videos, which was something I kind of did with City Skylines. That is also not coming back. I'm not really trying to chase that market anymore. I might do mod videos. Maybe there's a game that I'm really into, and hey, there's a cool mod, maybe I'll show it off. And here's the content that I will be doing, or pivoting to. Hardware videos. This is probably where I'm gonna make most of the content. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with server stuff and storage, because for a very long time when I was doing YouTube and working as an independent contracting video editor, I always needed space, fast storage. And a goal of mine was to have an all-flash system. And I kind of do. So that would be neat to show off the ways in which I manage my storage. I'm really big into server stuff, and I could talk all day about SSDs and that sort of thing. Cinematics, unlikely, but possible. Because I do still, I mean, the job that I do right now is I shoot and edit. I still have a mindset of cinematics, I guess you could say. It depends on the game. I think the games that would probably stick out to me are probably like Red Dead Redemption 2. That game is gorgeous. And Cyberpunk, which isn't that unique at this point. It's a very pretty game, and I love going around that game with a very narrow FOV and sort of just taking like street photography style images, which I had posted on Twitter probably a year ago at this point. Really, really fun because of how varied the environments are in that game, and of course how really wonderful the graphics are. So it's possible with games like that. Tutorials, also storage here, showing how I do some of my storage stuff. So I may also do tutorials about streaming optimization and settings. I know there's the streaming professor who does that. Adam, you're great. I won't be stealing any of your viewers, but maybe there's something that I find works for me and I'd make a video about. There's a lot of really shitty advice out there. I work for a company that specializes in streaming hardware, so I have a little bit of authority on that subject, I would say. So in the next, say, 3 to 6 months, videos that might happen. Hardware videos is a very easy one because I have all the hardware and I like talking about it. But there is one type of content that I've been not obsessed with, but I've wanted to make for a really long time, and that is sort of graphical analysis. And yes, I'm kind of talking about what Digital Foundry does. I'm a big fan of Digital Foundry. By the way, Alex follows me on Twitter, so things are getting pretty serious. And I've had this script, actually a couple of scripts, talking about various ways I wanted to analyze certain aspects of these video games. Kind of never got around to making it, and now I kind of can. There are sort of 3 primary reasons I want to come back to the YouTube channel. Number 1, I have wanted this type of creative outlet for years now. I do work as a video editor and I guess videographer. Like, you know, I use my camera for my job. While I do have a lot of creative freedom, very rarely does my manager say, hey, can you do this shot differently? And more so it's just, hey, we need to make sure we include this feature. Otherwise people might miss this really cool thing the product does. And that's totally fair. I still want to have full control over sort of what my videos are and how they look and the content they cover, rather than someone approving a script, for example. The second reason is there's been a lot of, how do I describe this? There's been a lot of content online that I've really enjoyed, but thought I could do better, I guess is the best way to describe it. Basically, I'll watch a video about something technical, about, it could be some really cool feature in a game, graphical feature, or it could be software. It's not that I'm trying to compete, it's just that for some of those videos it felt like, man, you put in all this work, this is great. I want to try to do that 10% difference, essentially. Yeah. Oh, the third one, money. I forgot. I would say go ahead and unsubscribe. It's probably for the best. I would rather see like a huge drop all at once than a trickle down as I try to work on videos again. All right, I've been talking long enough. So yeah, believe me, every time I've said, hey guys, I'm working on a new video for the YouTube channel, 9 times out of 10, I actually was. It just never was finished for any number of reasons. There was probably some mental block, not in terms of creativity, but in terms of, I can't do this. I haven't even told people what I'm working on. I need to have some video that tells people, hey, I'm back, before I actually release, some highly technical video that, is scripted and has all this production value. People are going to say, what the hell happened? I guess that's about it. One thing I do want to say is, I mentioned it earlier on, but when I didn't have very much income, when I was working as a part-time video editor back in like 2015, I had a really weak computer. In 2017, I finally upgraded to a Ryzen 1700, 8-core CPU, which was so much faster than my Ivy Ridge 3770K. And I had 32 gigs of RAM, which I could never get quite clocked up enough, almost purely on hard drives in terms of storage. Now I have like 40. Point being is I have zero excuses for not making content in terms of, oh, I can't do it because of some technical limitation. I should be making a ton of content in theory. In any case, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will have something for you shortly.